In early July, the subject became aware of a fundamentally unnerving phenomenon. Videos of her morning walk to work were appearing each day on YouTube. It was first-person footage from her own eyes. She recognized the places that she passed each morning, her face in reflections on glass. The files were labeled sequentially in a series called Sarah's Walk to Work. By the time she became aware of them, many had already been tagged, rated, commented on, and identified as favorites by a whole community of users. Reviews of her morning walk to work ranged from enthusiastic to harshly critical to strangely cryptic. But no one thought these videos out of the ordinary. She was an exciting new channel for them to enjoy. The videos picked up her morning routine approximately 45 minutes after her alarm was set to go off, no matter what time that was, and ended abruptly at YouTube's imposed 10-minute limit. The files were all uploaded by a user named Intangible Method. At some point, she thought to pay close attention to the time at which the videos were being uploaded, and she came to the relatively startling realization that these files were being uploaded a full day before the video capture window actually took place. The subject began her own investigation into the phenomenon by staying home from work, changing her morning routine, washing dishes, and watching television, to see if the focus of the videos would shift to her new morning routine in her apartment. Curiously, it did. Users on the site noticed the shift, and comments began to show signs of increasing curiosity and appreciation, as though these developments had been eagerly awaited. Her excitement at receiving these compliments overshadowed her vague concern that these users had been watching her for quite some time now. She attempted to contact the user named Intangible Method, but to her disappointment, he or she did not choose to respond. Now, soon after noticing the first signs of the phenomenon, the subject began receiving many emails from her live journal, informing her that new comments had been posted. She did not realize she'd been publishing a live journal. The entries had begun appearing at roughly the same time the YouTube videos had started appearing, and were clearly written by someone who understood her style of writing. Many of the entries were intensely personal in nature, revealing thoughts she'd never shared with anyone before. Indeed, comments tended to praise her for her bravery in sharing so much of her inner life with her community, although she did not recognize the usernames of the people in her community. Her Amazon wish list began to fill up with items she hadn't realized she wanted, but which certainly looked cool. Flickr galleries sprung up, cataloging the moments of her life in intricate detail. She did not recognize these moments, but still she grew to appreciate the thoughtful praise of others. The phenomenon began to feed upon itself as the digerati picked up on her expressive finesse. Her ego searches revealed signs of her increased reach and influence as her blog posts and videos garnered regular attention all throughout the blogosphere. Now, a turning point in the subject's appreciation of the phenomenon came when she thought to check her instant messenger chat logs and came across a disturbing exchange she did not recall. The subject soon lost her job after repeated absences due to staying home from work, watching her posts and videos appear, and then surfing related waves of feedback around the net. Comments began to take an ugly turn, wondering when the subject's life would reach its early promise. She grew impatient, waiting for her own posts to appear, and so she began posting proactively. But her own expression was brutally ham-fisted and angry. Eventually, someone retaliated by posting a shameful link to a long-forgotten gallery of pornographic photos. She did not recognize those moments either, but they were clearly her. After her eviction, the subject found access to the internet only sparingly, in public libraries for as long as she could stay hidden, in internet cafes where patrons left their terminals open with a few scattered minutes left after leaving. The videos continued to appear, but for some reason no one found the sight of her waking up in the park or in a doorway or under a cardboard box particularly exciting, and the views dropped from the thousands to the hundreds, eventually to just one, her whenever she could find access. Her live journal was eventually deleted, the videos stopped appearing altogether, and her only connection to her former whirlwind life was surfing Google caches for the recognition she once enjoyed. The last known trace of the subject came in the form of a text message which appeared suddenly, inexplicably, on the cell phone of the head researcher, weeks after the subject's last known access to the net. The message read simply, "My body was just an avatar. Time to start my second life." Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much, Scotto.